Have we
So,
started? Is this beginning? Is this it?
oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I'm sure no one's here, but it's fine. Who cares?
So today
Um,
we're talking about Jackson Pollock paintings. And what's your
I would like that, and I would like to have one if I had. Was it the old what is it? Bare Naked Ladies song? If I had $1 million.
if I had $1 million?
Okay, but for anyone who does watch this later, I definitely want to just give a rig rundown real quick because there is a Fractal FM3 on the floor, but a mid-level or whatever and used lower mid-level um, PRS, but humbucker mini hum pull to split, aka, or I need a volume boost to like battle the drop in volume, which means that what is it? The middle volume boost split. Okay, then jazz, which everyone heard last night, which was very nice, and then not jazz, which is still pretty jazz
Pretty jazz.
slash whatever. Oh,
Got to
good.
appreciate the rig rundown before you introduce your special guest.
Trig, thank you for hosting this. You're streaming when I am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Trig, for streaming when you're streaming. Um,
you're in trouble.
but thank you for hosting.
Me? Am I hosting?
And I locked Morgan out of the room. So if you wouldn't mind giving a rig rundown yourself, please,
Okay.
while I
Will you
let
go?
Morgan into the room.
Okay. And I'm and now you're gone too. Okay. I was just told to be on here all of a sudden, and I'm here. So I'm Daniel McLaughlin. If Elliott is not going to introduce me, and oh, here he's coming back. Oh boy.
Did you mention my sweatpants? I swear to God, if you mention my sweatpants,
No, I
it's the
didn't.
evening.
Your sweatpants, God.
All right.
You
I
just
get
have.
insecure about how often I wear sweatpants.
No, I respect that. Okay, rig rundown for the old Daniel over here. Kind of a different tier guitar. This is a Fender Custom Shop 1961 or apostrophe 61. This is a Wildwood 10, meaning a 10-inch radius. It's got the John Cruz style pickups, except we don't call them John Cruz pickups anymore. They're Wildwood special pickups, I guess. Yeah, that's this guitar. It's pretty cool. It's about 7 pounds. It's a 2015, 16. And I'm running it through a Kemper right now. You can hear that nice bodacious hum. There's Nick. I didn't come prepared with a whole list of tones. I'm just actually using one of my own personal Kemper tones that I want to put out one of these days. This is my 57 Filmo Sound Drive, which is one of my favorites right now. But hand down. Beauty of this one is that really cleans up with the touch, just like the actual amp. Oh, do you like that?
What pickup setting are you on, though? Is that neck?
It's Nick.
Fourth?
I don't know why it's kind of very gainy today.
So, thankfully, I got a little bit of empathy about the insecurity behind sweatpants. Ibn Naruto was saying he wears his favorite pair all the time, and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I got literally a pair from my sister, 2 pairs from me undies. I got another one. What is it? Oh, hey, Dylan. Don't FOMO too hard. It's not a big.
Losing right now.
Dylan, by all means, roast us in the chat. I would absolutely love that. Daniel would hate it, and that dichotomy is what we live for.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I don't know if I'm in an emotional state enough to get some roasting from Dylan.
I'm never in an emotional state if we're talking music. If it's like the gig's done, I'm like, oh, let's just shit around.
Yeah.
And if you're like, you know what's funny about your tone, I'll be like, I'll melt and die. But okay, so please do, and Morgan's in the chat, so by all means, roast us together. I sucked at roasting the other day. I tried to roast Dr. Who.
I'm just looking at a Zoom meeting, so I guess that's.
Oh, you could if you have it on your phone, you just log in.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanted. So, all right, let's go head to head. Axe to Kemper. This will be my clean that I try to start with, even though, again, humbucker, so it might be a little distorty.
I am not prepared for this.
Middle position. Neck. This is why I'm replacing this. See how warm that is in comparison? And this is a Dr. Z something 38. Clean tone.
Nice. I'll kind of share a clean tone that I've been working on lately, which is, I'm getting really into. Oh, let me show my eyes so that I connect. I've been, I bought my Kemper mainly because I wanted to mess around with profiling just as much as I wanted like another tool. That was a big reason why I wanted that over like an Axe FX and stuff. So I've been making my own profiles of like my amps, just because it would be nice to have access to all three of like kind of my nice boutique amps at any gig or anything like that. But here's my Tone King. I actually gave this away for free on one of my last videos.
Which video?
That was the second Kemper video, the one that's Kemper versus Oxbox versus mic'd versus camera audio.
Okay, so whatever the second one of his is, if you go into his videos, it's the most recent Kemper video. You can get a free Kemper thing.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Sounds.
Oh, can you play Save Tonight?
No, I can only play this.
That Strat is trying.
What's that song called again? Play Something Country.
Play Something Country. It's in G, though.
Play Something Country. We play a tune.
All right. So we had... Wait, what'd you say?
Should we play a tune?
Oh, fuck no. No, the latency is so horrible.
No, but it'll sound good for one of us.
Yeah, but that's how it ends up sounding. We end up jamming to the other one, and then, yeah, it... Basically, everyone watching has to go through an absolute shitstorm. But, all right, let's get to dirty tones, because you heard my wonderfully business.
Yeah. Love that.
Dirt. So this is a different Dr. The same Dr. Z, but, a second one with the gain cranked a little. But, cleans up. Middle. The gorgeous neck. If I wanted to do. Whoops. So, just a little bit, but I can kind of, it's not like ridiculous. It's, I can go up and down with it.
Yeah, you got kind of the gain staginess with your.
I still to this day don't know what gain staging means, but yes. Like,
Dylan sent me a personal text saying, "Why are you and Elliot ignoring me?" I'm not seeing this, chat.
Dylan, put it in the chat. Why is Daniel here at Elliott's things? Anyway, but
Elliot
anyway, let's Elliott Smith, yeah. But let's try. So, what's your dirt?
I mean, so again, I haven't necessarily. Oh, I tried to vibe you, but instead accidentally vibed Elliot's biggest follower. All right, so Elliot's biggest follower. I think Dylan is very apologetic. Um, Again, I don't have like uh, performances set up. That's what it's called on a Kemper. But I'll share some of my favorite drives so far. This one, actually, Elliot, this is an amp you'd totally buy, and I want to see if you'll get it. Oh. What is it? What is
Singer
that?
songwriter.
No, what? It's an amp profile of something. It's from
Oh,
Tone.
T-Rock.
You're close. I mean, maybe it's close. I still don't know what this amp is trying to be. It's a J mod.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's a $6,000 amp you just heard.
Yeah.
That's a $6,000 amp that sounded like, hey, it sounds like a T-Rock, right?
Yeah. Hey, you want to hear the
T-Rock is good.
$1,000 or $220,000 amp with a $5,000 overdrive pedal on top of it? This is what is accessible with modeling technology nowadays. This is a steel string singer with a Klein. I don't know if that sounds great. Ah. It's kind of sounding a little out of tune today, too.
Yeah, this amp is sounding out of tune.
Yeah, I'm all over the place today.
All right. So next up, we got Clean and Dirt. This would be, these next two would be my like rhythm, like we're rocking and everything like that, but it's not like, it's
Yeah.
a tasteful amount. Nothing's going crazy. Whatever.
Just give it to us.
Just and so that kind of thing. So it's not like a ridiculous amount. And sample lead 2 is that little extra, like if it went from, say I was going to do the rhythm of this garbage song that I'm just kind of overplaying. And I wanted, like, I don't want my main rhythm tone to have slapback or like any kind of serious slapback. So I put it on the second one and also sweeten it up a little bit. And that'll be like
harmonic overtones too.
You hear that? But yeah, so that would be my like, general, rhythm, rock stuff. KS yours.
KS yours? Oh, did you just speak Spanish to me?
Don't sound insulted. Did you just speak Spanish to me?
I feel like I need to keep like reiterating that I'm doing this on the fly, but here's another tone I enjoy. This is a.
All right, I'll give you one more sec.
No. I'm ready to show.
Okay, all right.
9 bassman. It's out of the Carl Verheyen pack, and a lot of these Carl Verheyen packs just come up with like, it's just a mic and an amp, and there's no like preset effects, so you kind of got to massage it a little bit to make it sound really good. 1959 bassman, I put a treble booster in front of it, So
Dan McLaughlin, guitar masseuse.
sounds pretty good, right? Oh, what's the wrong chord? Whatever. Yeah, that's my 59 basement. I'm stoked about that tone.
So
I like the
next,
proper high end pack a lot. There's kind of I find some really interesting amps in there from time to time, just like without even realizing. Like, have you ever heard of a train wreck amp? I bet you
Yep.
have. You have?
It's in the sir, or it's in the sir, it's in the fractal.
Do you know how much those go for if you can find one like used?
Too much.
Like how much? Like is that JMod level?
I think at least, yeah.
Dude, the
They're
last
like mystical.
amp that was out, yeah, they're like Dumble level. I think Grun Guitar sold one for like 60 grand. He only ever made I think 200 train wrecks. So it's cool that Carl has one. I could show you what it sounds like here. Let me
You could also potentially dox yourself and share your screen.
would that be doxing myself? How would I
Well,
do that?
depending on what you have on your screen.
Oh, like I just
I've
have
only doxed myself like
weird
6
number
times.
and, like I actually filmed a video where I totally had my phone number available. And I was like, no.
Which video?
It's actually in the docket to be released. But here's the train wreck. So it's kind of like a little mid-rangey. I think that might honestly just because it's just a simple profile and I didn't put any like effects on it yet. Because usually like with Kemper, it's interesting. I'll put a compressor on. I'll usually put some sort of studio EQ, and it's all just doing very small amounts of thing, like just a very subtle like room or like just enough boost to kind of give it a little bit more oomph when it hits like the amplifier section. It's just funny that these are all like digital things that are happening, and yet it works in a very analog way.
That's why I like them, and I've been a proponent of them for a long time.
Very long.
But
Too long, actually.
So the second to last, I guess, amp is the like it's time to let the hair down per se.
You're pursing your like I'm just trying to shred a solo because I can't even talk. Let's hear it.
Like and then the lead of that basically just switches pedals. I feel so nervous doing that to a set neck guitar.
Can you demo a contemporary Christian rock dotted delay?
Sure can. That is what is next to.
Yeah,
There we go. Actually, we'll do it. So that's my dotted thing, which is a dotted and an eighth note, and then this guy just for like, because the dotted gets kind of annoying if you go from the solo. Like if this is your rhythm, you just kind of let it sit there with the dot, and then go. Just calms it out.
Oh wait, I have a question. Were you just playing "Shut Up and Dance with Me"?
Yes, I will. But yeah.
Who are you just playing?
Yeah,
Then?
yeah.
Can you play it again?
Sure. I can do whatever you want me to do.
I think that's totally wrong.
Maybe. You play it here?
You still can't see that. Ah. Yeah.
See that? This to me is more, you know, and so, but it's also a little easy to be clean depending on like. And to be fair, I might clean this tone up a little bit. So let me show everyone how easy that is to do. Yoinkity yoink, FM3 edit. Sorry, you're not seeing this. Everyone else is though. So it's on the 2-stone, the 2-rock business. Gonna go to Mr. Z. Gonna go to the other
Mr. Z. Yikes.
Yeah. Well, what do you want? Let's switch both of them. Gorgeousness. Save. Gorgeousness. Okay, let's see if it made a difference. So already. Oh, that's why. So that one I can dig into.
I'm sorry I was playing over you. I didn't realize I had so much gain.
You're good. So that's more Americana anyway. Especially, let's see if
the next portion of that solo for you.
Does it do well with the neck? Sounds pretty good. All right.
My big gain that I have ready for you.
I want to hear your big gain. And I want to hear your dotted.
Oh my god, I don't have a dotted ready at all. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? This is my fuzzed out Filmo sound profile. Literally, this is that stupid Filmo sound amp. Dimed. Everything's all the way up.
Is that recommended?
I mean, I don't think it's recommended to turn an old film an almost 70-year-old film projector into an amplifier. I don't think that's recommended. It's also not recommended to put a boost in front of your dimed amplifier. So, but with the power of Kemper, anything is possible. But anyway, it's funny because usually the Kemper, especially with the profiles, has a pretty good noise gate. I'm kind of cautious to call it a noise gate because it really just gets rid of a lot of the noise off the bat, which is really cool. It's cool when you have like a noisy amp and then it just gets rid of that. But then it also has an additional noise gate on top of it. And even then I'm getting kind of some pretty gnarly noise here. But anyway, this is and that's the Premier Guitar theme. Right before they do a rig rundown. This is Rebecca Dirks with rig rundown. But yeah.
So that's
pretty good sustain. Pretty good. Let's listen to that. Ooh.
So you're telling me for because I like that tone as far as like that's a really good like trashy blues, like we're playing late.
Yeah.
Kind of you turn to the gain too far. The amp is exploding. What would you do for?
That would not be a pour the sugar on me. What is it? Pour some sugar on me? That would not be a
Pour sugar on me, please, is what it's called.
pour that sugar on me, please.
Pour that sugar substitute on me, please.
Pour that stevia on me.
What would you do for that? Or the
yeah. Let me see. I mean, the obvious choices would be a Friedman. I've got a Friedman Dirty Shirley.
That is this right now. It is the Dirty Shirley with a your least favorite pedal, the tube screamer.
It doesn't have any goods though. It doesn't have any grip because I don't have any of the reverbs and stuff put on.
Well, even then, it's still also kind of like.
I'll stop playing Journey. Anyway, so that's one. The other option would
like
be
how 80s could you make it sound?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean,
because even that sounded like kind of still like wonderful classic rock.
80s to me just screams digital reverb, and that's like a really kind of tough like thing because reverbs are just so good these days.
So is this too much gain for you then?
Oh, that's good. I'm into it. Let's see how this sounds. Again, I'm doing this all on the fly. This is a Silver Jubilee from Tone Judge. Can't handle the game.
I do have one question. Is that the actual part?
No, I'm just making it up.
Because I love that you do this.
No. It's up.
I use that opportunity to chug because I'm like a frustrated, never was in like a.
It's really satisfying to like when you have like a light touch. Like I know you and I both kind of have generally pretty light touches. It's nice having a light touch and a ton of gain and like just being able to get so much power out of just a little bit of like.
Especially, so this would be one of the many crimes you would see if you saw me play a cover band set. Like any of the
harmonics too.
If I can get that kind of.
How do you play this part? You go Oh, that sounds good. That's probably more. Got it.
Can I hear some of these if you have it ready with your Les Paul?
Oh my God. Sure. Let's see.
Just because the humbucker of it all, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna commit the sin of just like.
You're good. That was fine.
Hopefully nothing falls over. All right. Might be a little out of tune. I don't want it to here. You guys. It's kind of the worst, right? I feel
You gotta tune with your mouth too, though.
Why are you so shy? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why is it still not gonna get
It's all about one thing. It's all about doing the rake, as well as I love if you ever get too excited on that song. Not that you did, but if like when I've gotten too excited, over bending that first bend.
I just did that. Did you hear that? Yeah. It's so easy to overbend, and it's the worst.
Because you basically need to like just like slide into the fret to like no, readjust.
Yeah.
Especially one of my favorites though is it's really hard not to overdo all the bends in. Because it's so intense and you've taken like 3 solos by then.
Yeah.
And then that one, and everyone's waiting for it, and you know everyone's waiting for it, and it's just like, man, I really don't want to let anyone down. And then there's that part where it's like and then some harmonic minor line.
I never really learned that part.
That one I didn't learn, but the I could do it right here live. There's a part of me that goes, just don't fuck up that part. That's the only part everyone really, it's like the intro and that part, everyone knows it's coming. Like
that part, really? I always think that people really associate with the melodic part of the first of that like first half of the solo before the wah part comes in. And then at wah, all bets are off, you know. No one's paying attention by that point, where they're just stoked about the wah being there.
Yeah, I would have to program the wah, and it's not happening. So
yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. So you probably just don't even want to deal with that. So you are on the hook for the right notes.
I'm on the hook for the right notes, and I'm on the hook for making it such a transcendental experience for them that they forget that there's no wah. And or I go, hey, singer, would you mind just flicking my tone knob back and forth to simulate a wah, please? And just like... That sounds like garbage. I need a better tone.
Are willing to do that for you while you're playing.
Especially any singer would just be like, yeah, sure, crank, and then just probably just like rip it off.
Yeah.
Dylan did ask for a cons list.
Oh, cons of stuff? I know he's been blowing me up too.
So cons of the Fractal FM3, if you don't love, like, it's 3 buttons, and it's a thing, I tap, it toggles. If I press and hold, it's a different thing. And if I press and hold again, it toggles. So it's really 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything is, it's 12 things. But if you don't want to deal with that, if you want like on, off, you have to buy like, you either have to have an incredibly simple setup, or you have to buy like an attaching thing, like an FM or FC6 or FC12, which is like a bunch of shit. It doesn't really bother me because I mean, honestly, it's like I have my clean thing. What kind of song has like that many things that I can't? The dirt. The hardest ones ever would be like anything with tap, right? Like, right, and then it goes to Okay. And then, but I have the complicated songs in a different view, which is another thing that's complicated about this, where like there's buttons, and then you can like scroll over to like a different assignment for those 3 buttons.
Yeah.
And I have the difficult, annoying songs in the second 3 buttons. The first 3 buttons, it's like, clean's right here, dirty's right there, whatever. It's like it's good to go. Most tones will be fine. Other than that, there's the worry as well with like, oh, if I forget my power cable, my whole life is over. But like the same thing would happen with pedals. If like,
Yeah.
especially if a cable goes bad with a pedal board, you want to die. You're just like, which one is it? I have 9 pedals. So like in my pedal board. So it's like if one of the patch cables is fried, it's like, cool, we'll get to wait around and see which one. And then I don't have an extra patch cable. So dope.
Yeah.
Like
You don't have like a little box you have in your car?
patch I have extra patch cables in the in my thing, the case.
Okay. For a second, I thought you were gonna say your sunglass compartment in your car. And I don't know why I thought that. Like, that's a perfect place to put extra patch cables, is the sunglass compartment in your car.
Sure. Or the case that you brought in your pedal board with.
That's
But
it.
especially if it happens mid-show, so if you were really nervous about it, I would say get, which I'm if that stimulus check goes through, the I would happily get the Strymon Iridium and have that be a backup, because it's like, here's my plexi, here's my Fender.
Hmm.
Great. I mean, that'll take care of most things. And
Yeah.
if they don't get to hear the dotted delay that night, then like whatever.
You know,
That,
like before we kind of move on, I want to talk about the Strymon Iridium a little bit, because I have thought the same thing about where it's like it's just the greatest backup thing for something like that too. But it's also like I kind of feel like it's such a small instance of like it actually being usable in a situation that goes wrong. I mean, you think about it, you'd need to have a 9-volt uh, power adapter for it. You would need to be going through the PA system. It couldn't be just like a regular gig where you're bringing an amp, so it couldn't just replace a regular amp.
do you not are you not able to plug those into, like, if I brought my little PA speaker that I plug
Yeah,
my Fractal into?
you could absolutely do that. But you would have to have that as well. So I mean, if it's a problem where like your if your FRFR is going out, like it would really, literally only be a replacement to if your
Right.
Fractal went down and you had a 9-volt power adapter
But
available.
to be fair, if my Fractal goes down and my FRFR, my speaker goes down, the gig's fucked.
Yeah,
Like, I'm definitely not the only one who's experienced a failure that day. If all of my gear is wrong, then chances are the bass player's amp or keyboard player's amp or whatever is probably also fucked, because there was an obvious disaster.
yeah, that's very.
Um,
My point being though that just it's such a specific thing that it would seek to fix, that
hmm.
it's kind of like I'd like to imagine that I would have one of those in my little gig box that I keep behind my seat in my car. But I just don't think that that problem is going to come up as often as I would think it would, where you have like a critical failure like that. I
Nothing's
would,
ever failed on me that way.
yeah,
Even
I've never had that either.
there was one gig where my amp died.
Oh, yeah.
And you could kind of hear it. But it was basically, I just played the New York City Marathon, and it was like 40 degrees for
Flex.
3 hours. Not recommended,
Oh, yeah.
but whatever. And then literally played the next day at some venue in Boston, and like uh I guess it was the hot and cold business,
Hmm.
kind of fried everything, and it made it like halfway through that next gig, and then just kind of and was started to crumble. And I just looked at the other guitar player and was like, I guess this is your gig. Like, I'll play rhythm and do whatever the hell. And honestly, at this point, with this guitar, a little less so, but with the Silver Sky and both Sirs, I'd be like, I'm kind of comfy going DI. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
I'd be like, give me a kind of disgusting clipped sound, please, and I'll make it work. It's not gonna do 80s well. Those songs are done, but can it do what is it? Not even that. On those guitars, yeah, sure. It'll sound a little weird, but whatever. The lap steel player in the band we play in, Chris Lozano, he plugs his pedal steel through a quilter, sounds gorgeous, and then he takes the cable out and plugged in his like 1962 telly into the quilter, and it did not sound the same. It was like a big fat clean sound, and he just would like kind of put a little bit of an overdrive and clip it, and it kind of sounded like he was going DI. And it was like, yeah, this kind of works. It's like, it's conviction at that point. At that point, I'm sweating. I'll probably have another shot and just go, this is it. Time to like, this is one of those stories. I can't wait to tell Dylan. I don't want you to be left out. So tell Dylan that this will be a story for later. I'll just die a small death right now. So yeah. Especially if it happened during an original set, you can get away with that because you'd be like, this is supposed to suck. It's my artistic, view. There is actually, we can do that real quick. If you want to get in the Strymon Iridium, I will switch to the Silver Sky, and wow, my back. I pulled something with today's workout. I did too quickly. I'll switch to that, and then there is a DI preset. That is pretty dope. So here. But what are your feelings on the Iridium, and like actually the cons for the Kemper? Never got around to the cons.
Okay, yeah, because I've got a couple things that I want to talk about. I think approaching from a different side of things, because as we all know, Elliott is this modeling crazy man. But I am fairly new to the modeling game, and so it's like, or the profiling game, I should say. I would say the biggest con with the Kemper is actually it's just learning curve. It takes a long time to really understand how to use the thing, especially if you're just going straight interface rather than using the digital organizational tool, the rig manager, which I almost exclusively use the rig manager. I have my Kemper down here on the floor about 4 feet from me, so I'm not touching it. I'm not doing anything. I'm messing with it all on the computer, and it's connected with a USB cable. But digging through all like the sub menus on the Kemper can be a little bit frustrating, and that's actually where I see like probably the Quad Cortex starting to have probably a bigger foothold in the market here. Is because apparently their folder system is a little bit better. Still, the Kemper is great, and there's a lot of buttons and stuff to touch, and obviously, if you spent enough time with it, you would be able to get what you needed out of it. It's not like it's just going to be forever from you. But yeah, that's a con, I'd say. I love my Kemper stage unit. I'm stoked about it. I'd say I wish it had an integrated volume pedal, although I'm not necessarily missing that. The Helix has the volume pedal on it, which is nice. I could just attach one though, but it's another thing to bring. I like the idea of just showing up with your guitar and your Kemper, which is kind of cool. Other than that, man, I mean,
to be fair, I had this Axe Effects, or not this Axe Effect, but I've been working with modelers for like 3 years.
Totally.
So like, and I've definitely made a complete ass of myself so many times.
Yeah.
In front of people repeatedly. But that's in general, honestly.
Sure. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Like, I want to bring this to my next gig, whenever that happens. And I'm a little nervous for that day because I'll either be stoked about how it sounds and how it's coming through, but I'm just wondering how this can screw up my day, by revealing something that I should have changed or should have been prepared for. Obviously, I'm going to try to not have any failures, but I sure know this thing wants to screw up my gig. It just wants to. There's going to be something and it's going to come out way too thin. And I'm going to be like, what is going on? And then it's going to be in a sub menu. And that's going to take me 30 seconds to get to. And then I miss my solo. I miss my Don't Stop Believin' solo.
First of all, that would be my solo. Second of all, it would be the between the 80s rock tones. All right, so let's check this out. So we'll have true singles, and I'm pretty sure people are in the kitchen, so it might buzz.
Ooh.
But that's why.
Question, can you turn down your gain just a touch?
Yes.
Because I think it's clipping. Or
It is super clipping. Still clipping. This is what happens when you use the other oh yeah, that's another thing. That would be a con. The factory presets are loud as fuck.
Oh yeah.
And they do not need to be. But
I would have so kind of going off of that, the rig manager stuff, or not the rig manager, but the rig exchange. That there's a lot of rigs on there that people upload. It is so hard to kind of wade your way through the good ones and the bad ones because there are a lot of bad ones on there. There are a couple diamonds in the rough, but I'd say those are kind of their factory preset stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, okay, let's hear your terrible DI sound.
So let's say, right, amp dies, I plug into the thing, the sound person has a compressor, and this is... Okay, scene 2. So I'll be taking the solo on the neck,
Yeah.
or the bridge. That would be a tough day. It would be a tough day, but at that point, I'm selling it with my face now.
And your chromatic licks. You got to play all the chromatic licks.
That would be me hating my tone and being nervous. Yeah, sure, that could happen.
Yeah.
In preference, even the bassist, I'd be like, dude, just solo. If it's like a trio scenario, I'd be like, somebody, I'll just sing, and it's just like, I'd be like, I don't even want the guitar to do anything, but it can hold the rhythm.
A lot of the times the things that I notice with DI, because I'll do some DI stuff as a producer.
Hey, nice. Shout out to
big producer. Shout out to the producers in the chat. I'll do some DI stuff from time to time, and the thing that is the first thing that you want to get rid of is obviously the low end. There's a lot more low end in a DI sound than there is in like an amplified sound. Usually it's just like stupid boomy, but the thing that like I would have a real problem with on a gig if it was going through like a DI situation is a lack of reverb, or just a lack of kind of motion or movement or space at all, because that is just the purest form of like, here's the sound, that's it. Even if you carved it up, like a reverb, even just the slightest amount makes it sound like it's a guitar. It's in its place. If anything, if it's going through a cabinet, it's got kind of some sort of reverb-ish sound coming from the cabinet.
Sure.
But you can make a speaker cabinet turn into a reverb if you kind of rewire it in a certain way. You can
I
like
mean,
a speaker cone a reverb. It's kind of a crazy trick. Shout out to
I'm
Vintage
not.
Amps Podcast by Fretboard Journal, one of my favorite podcasts.
I mean, I'm not rewiring, and I'm like, oh, my pedals died. Let me rewire my amp real quick.
Yeah, of course. Let me just throw in this like cathode bias reverb circuit into my vintage tube amp real quick because my Strymon Flint actually just died on me. Shout out to Strymon.
You're just gonna keep saying stuff. Hey,
Hello.
this is actually nice. Shout out to Levy's.
Shout out to Freenote Cloth. His
I don't know what
shirt.
that is.
Levies. I did some gigs for Freenote.
You got
Uh,
wait. You did a
Freenote.
gig for a shirt company?
Actually, it was a jean company. Dylan is probably elated in the chat right now, but
I think he left because he was so sick of us talking about clothes.
Oh, that's fair. About clothes? We've been talking about clothes for 10 seconds. I used to do this thing that I called the jean gig. And I would get random people to play with me. I mean, it would just be a duo guitar thing, and we'd show up at this like sale, and we get paid in jeans. We'd get a pair of pants each, and those were some fond days.
Each gig?
Each gig, yeah.
How many gigs did you do?
I did probably 8 or 9 of these. Quite fun. I actually played their grand opening of their store in Highland Park.
Did you sell the jeans afterwards? Was after 9 pairs of jeans?
I mean, I just got 9 pairs of jeans. I think I sold them all since then. Shout out to eBay.
That's what. I just like to thank eBay for sponsoring. Actually, I just want to do a real quick thing, just because
Hear how resonant this guitar is. Can you hear that?
Sounds like it's distorting. It's so resonant.
Really? My
No.
God.
So I just want to try the same. Oh, come on, autofocus. Anyway, I just want to try the same patches before, but with the SS. Oh, see, yes, as soon as immediately I'm like, yeah, this is my good. This is what I was talking to Wally about like, I love the Vela so much, and I just sometimes don't hear myself in it. And as soon as I play, I'm just like, there I am.
Yeah, I kind of associate your tone now with that guitar so much. It does sound like you. I mean, you've always been a Strat guy.
It's like Strat and Strat adjacent.
Yeah. You would look so strange with like a Les Paul.
Ooh.
Play
But that's not even
take a solo. This is terrible.
So that like that kind of, the fact that I can like just roll down the tone knob and go, you know, it's just but does it gent? So here we go. Does it gent? Thanks to that Fralin. What? Oh my God! Sorry. That's it. That's like, it's like weirdly maybe a humbucker, kind of not, but sort of is, but maybe another thing, like really clear. Cuts right through, but it's not abrasive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is a back-breaking 6 pounds 15 ounces versus 5.5 pounds.
Too heavy. I know.
Too heavy.
I mean, who's ever seen that like Les Pauls that weigh over 8 pounds? God, this is way too heavy. Too heavy for a 3-hour gig.
That is too heavy for a 3-hour game, Joe.
3 hours, it kind of does hurt.
Especially when, for whatever reason, I pulled whatever muscle. Oh my god. Anyway, do all Trader Joe's have poopy parking?
It's a purple plexi. Isn't that kind of cool?
I love talking my way out of mistakes also.
Or like talking your way out of not knowing the rest of the solo too. Sometimes I do that like out of tune blues bend. Like nah, it's a little, you know, you'll do like a
I felt like we were just gonna keep going.
You know, you'll do one of those, and then it's cool sometimes. Sometimes it's really not cool. You feel me?
Yeah, dude. Sometimes things are what they are, and sometimes not.
Yeah,
I feel you.
That's very true.
It's the dichotomy of the universe, the duality of man. I think that's from The Office. Anyway, so I don't know if anybody won there.
Well, were we debating or were we just talking about nonsense?
Oh, it was a battle royale.
Oh,
winner takes all to the death or whatever.
Yeah. Does your Axe Effects have any games on it?
Centipede.
It has Centipede? That's crazy. I don't have any games.
Just the old Nokia games.
Shout out to Nokia.
Shout out to... I'd like to think... Can you imagine if we just like read fake ad reads like, you know, like the best phone you love to hate, Nokia or whatever. I don't know.
Some people have a podcast that they just read fake ad reads the whole time.
That would be
called Success Express. Shout out to Success Express.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. They also have a cool comedy band called the Cooties.
Success Express sounds... I like that.
It's
a good
funk
cool. Band.
It's pretty fun.
It's a good funk band, kind of like... so what is it? Last week I got on here and I was talking about how kind of annoyed at it was that House representative that just got told she can't do anything today.
Oh, Majority Green.
Yeah, and it was the Jewish Space Laser, and I was like, man, what a funk band name though.
Jewish Space Laser.
Like a secret Jewish Space Laser, be like, that sounds funky, and it should be funny, and it's not when it's coming out of her mouth. But yeah, so anywho, I guess you are recording this, and thank you to everyone in the chat for hanging out. I hope, especially the people who like wanted to know anything about, you know, modelers, profilers, home studios, etc. Yeah, that would be it, is going through a bunch of different clean signs. Like this one kind of sounds like that thing, and like there's a bunch in it. There's a bunch in his thing. There's a bunch in my thing.
Our things, like our YouTube channels.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're? I didn't know what you were referring to by thing.
Kemper and Axe Effects.
Oh, okay. What about the Quad Cortex? How do we feel about that?
I don't know. Whenever it comes out, 3 years from now, we'll find out.
Yeah.
I know Wally in the chat is absolutely waiting for that thing because it was my
Wally
AX8.
Hey Wally, how's it going?
He was saying my AX8 like sold him on like, yeah, I'm good. Like I'm good on an amp.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know whose review I liked on the Quad Cortex was Paul David's. I felt like it was very objective.
Let's see if I missed something. I am the guitar guy. Thank you for following, and I will watch Paul David's Quad Cortex. If anyone wants to watch a bunch of stuff about this stuff, I suppose join the Discord. Maybe I'll post some stuff in the Discord that's like right up nerds alley in terms of like profiles of modelers, nerdy stuff.
Discord?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Oh, you want me to invite you?
Tell me about it. Yeah. Well, is Dylan in your Discord?
No, I should invite him too.
Dylan and I have a joint Discord account because we both subscribe to these weird stock analyst channels, I guess is what it's called, Discord channels.
You're waiting until it goes to the moon, right?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, I'm on your side. I think most of the world is.
Are you the shareholder in GameStop?
No.
And
I'm
I don't want to
morally.
talk to you.
The point is, I'm morally on your side.
I appreciate that. Who would have thought that we're not playing a fair game? Am I right? That's right, SEC. If you're watching this, I'm upset.
You don't even look upset, was the best part.
I'm upset.
You're like, I'm in such a bad mood.
I am irate right now.
I have, as an actor, I have range of emotions from happy to sad. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I had to take a hot shower, or ice my back, or whatever is going on with whatever I did and pulled whatever. But thank you for chatting. Thank you for giving everybody a little sound exchange. And now we both have to go text Dylan to make sure he doesn't feel left out. And apparently, we should have a little 3-way chat with Dylan. Anyway,
should we? Or
yeah,
should we not?
Anyway, thanks everybody much for hanging out. Thanks everybody for hanging out. And I'll learn how to speak later. And good night.
Good night.